Hey guys, welcome to my August 10th DVD update. I talk about all the DVDs and Blu-rays I've gotten over the last 3 weeks. Sorry for the delay with these. I was at Comic-Con, then I got back, had a whole bunch of stuff to catch up on watching. But the first DVD I got is Adam Rifkin's first film, The Dark Backward. I know this is one that he always jokes about a lot of people haven't seen. Was a very cool movie though. Very different film too. It stars Judd Nelson as this garbage man who really wants to be a stand-up comic. So his friend encourages him, played by Bill Paxton, who's outstanding in this. And he plays this real over-the-top, crazy character who's like eating garbage in this, and like really loves fat women. But then Judd Nelson tries out doing stand-up comedy, and he's terrible. Nobody likes him, but he has this gig that he gets at this weird little club, and the whole movie takes place in this sort of futuristic or weird world that you don't know when it is, and all the products in these are these blumps. I think that's blimps. Everything is all this same product, but he's no good. But Bill Paxton's always saying, "Oh no, you're great. It's gonna work out for you." But then all of a sudden, Judd Nelson's character starts growing this arm on his back that keeps growing and growing. So then he ends up meeting Wayne Newton, who's a talent scout, who ends up putting him on as something, the three-armed comic. And that really isn't, it becomes very, I don't want to ruin anything with this movie, but this is very cool, and Wayne Newton was excellent in this. I wish he would do more films, because I only really recall seeing Wayne Newton in this, and Vegas Vacation, and maybe one other movie. But this is definitely a movie to check out. And also, if you haven't seen, check out the video that I filmed on set of Adam Rifkin's upcoming TV show, Look, on my channel. The next DVD I got, this is very early. This isn't out yet. This is still in the festivals. I was lucky enough to be able to watch this. And it's Best Worst Movie, the documentary about Troll 2 that Michael Paul Stephenson did. And if you want to find out about this, go to www.bestworstmovie.com. And also, you can look for when there's screenings. But if you have the opportunity to see this, you have got to check this out. Basically, it's following up on everybody. It's basically the documentary about the worst movie of all time, which I truthfully always thought Troll 2 was not that bad. I always loved it. And I guess that maybe it's because I grew up watching it. I discovered it like in '91 in the fantasy section of Blockbuster and just always liked it. And I never saw anything wrong with it. But I like those kind of films, But basically, this documentary follows around George Hardy's character, for the most part, who's a dentist, is what he does for his day job. And it's following him around, and basically everybody, it shows when they all started going to these Troll 2 screenings. They didn't know much about how popular it was, and all the characters from these movies are going to these things. And it's become this huge following. There were some great scenes in this. There were some real funny stuff, like them at this convention in England when like nobody knew who they were, and it was just very funny stuff. And they also tracked down Margaret Prey, who played the mother. And I don't want to ruin anything about it, but whoa, it was like, what happened? Basically, though, I love this documentary, and if you have the opportunity to see this, it's really good. There's a few scenes in it that I slightly cried to. It was outstanding. I mean, and especially since I love this movie. And the thing is, even if you haven't seen Troll 2, you probably would like this even more. But definitely check this out, Best Worst Movie, and go to www.bestworstmovie to find out more about it. And the next DVD I got, I got this when I was with Wet Movie at Comic-Con at the Sam Goody Music, one of the only ones left. And I've always looked at this thing. I remember looking at this at Tower Records when they were still open all the time. I was like, I wonder if this is good. And I was thinking, is this a ripoff of the Clint Howard movie? Because it always said 2002 on the back. So I was like, was this like after and some knockoff or something? It was actually filmed in 1990 or 91 and took years to come out. It's called Mr. Ice Cream Man. And it's outstanding. I mean, it's going to be hard to get. You can get it on Amazon.com used, but you don't want to buy the new copy. It's like $100 from there. But this is outstanding. If you like shot on video, shot on Super, Betamax, all that kind of stuff, these kind of movies, it's amazing. It's basically this ice cream man. This was before Ice Cream Man, remember that. This ice cream man that is killing off people. And there's like an investigation at the school. Like the acting in some of the scenes was atrocious. But there was the kid actors in these were so funny. There was this one kid actor who was like this real tall guy, and he's like, "Ice cream!" And the one, it was insane. He was like looking up like this, like it was the ice cream was his heaven or his god or something. It was very strange. But this is, I mean, I love this thing. This thing was amazing. The next one I saw a lot of ads for this in Fangorian all over the place online. It's called Skeleton Crew, and it's a very strange film, but I really ended up liking it. It's not the best put together movie in a few ways. Basically, it starts out with this thing that you're seeing all these kind of like weird filmmaker flaws in the beginning. I was thinking, is this going to be a movie they're watching like they did with I don't remember what movie they did, but the same way it opened with this other horror film. But they're watching this, it's just this thing going on, and it's this girl going into this mental institution because her car breaks down the side. Now she thinks it's a hospital, but then all of a sudden it cuts right when the girl is going to get killed to people on the set going, cut. And it's basically about these people putting together this movie about these real murders. They were at this hospital. This crazy doctor would kill people and make his own snuff films. He would, videotape it or film it with, film cameras, like those old 8mm ones. But I don't know. It was very strange, and I don't want to ruin what happens in this, but I liked a lot of it. But there was it was shot very well, though. I mean, had amazing cinematography for a movie like this. It was a movie from Finland. I don't know. I really enjoyed it. It's very peculiar, though. But I would check this thing out. It's very difficult to explain it. The next one is a movie that's been done forever, and I've heard about it forever, and it's finally out, and it's Crispin Glover in Simon Says. And there were some scenes in this, like Crispin Glover's acting was like, well, he was like going as over the top as he could in this. He's like, oh, I'm gonna kill you. It was like, Crispin, what are you doing? The way he was acting in this. But it wasn't bad exactly, it was just so strangely over the top. And the movie starts out with these group of these kids, and at first you're like, is this the 70s or something? Because they're like in this like Scooby-Doo looking kind of van, all, using doobies and stuff. And then it cuts to them walking through a graveyard, and they meet these two guys that are only in one scene in the movie, and they're like, I wouldn't go out there. And they're telling this story about these two twins that, killed their parents and stuff. These two, like one twin was normal, one was crazy, and the one snapped and killed the parents. And then it cuts to them going to this like a truck stop, and they meet the Crispin Glover character and his brother, and then all of a sudden they go out into the woods and all get killed off one by one. It's nothing new, but there was just some very strange things with this movie. I really liked it, but it's peculiar. And like you could tell, like they only had Crispin Glover for a couple days on this, so they had to like shoot his stuff at different times, so the lighting was a little different in a few sequences. Like it was very weird. But I'd check it out, but very peculiar. And it's Simon Says. The next one I got, surprised to see, and I think it's because at all these conventions I was always saying, why don't you have the Gilligan's Island cartoon? They're like, oh, I don't know if there's enough interest, and now all of a sudden I'm seeing them all. Last time at Comic-Con I got Gilligan's Planet, and this one is the one that I didn't even know there was, the best of the new adventures of Gilligan's Island. And this was actually a cartoon on the island rather than in space, which I don't care for those in space. They did that with the Brady Bunch and all that, the in space things. This one's actually on the island. Everybody came back to do voices except, Ginger. She never comes back. I don't have to do that. She's like all kinds of issues with it. I haven't even got to look at this yet. It was like $20 or something, but I was happy to find it. And the next one I got, and I always get these, is Guy Fieri, Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. Me and MJ always mention him in Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, the complete third season. And it's basically him going to all these diners, drive-ins, and dives. Talking about the food, touching the food. And in one of the episodes in this, we always make jokes that he's always touching the food and making people mad. And one of them, he's like, easy, easy, like yells at him. Guy Fieri, he's like, easy. And Guy Fieri's just like this. And the next one, I turned this one off. I got this at Sam Goody as well. It wasn't too good. It's Lady Terminator. It has this one cool song in it. But other than that, this has been out for a while. I never got to get it. And it's Dirty Jobs with Mike Rowe, Collection, Volume 4. I like this. It's basically him going to all these, really disgusting jobs. And he works the job for a day or two, like cleaning things and dealing with these animals. I don't know, it's not that bad. I always watch them. It's the kind of thing after you get back from work or something, you just sort of like watching something weird like this. And this is a movie I got at Comic-Con, and I've heard about this for a long time. and it says starring Bruce Campbell. It's like Bruce Campbell, yeah, my arse. Bruce Campbell's in the movie for 53 seconds. Sam Raimi, though, is in this movie. Like most of it. It's called The Intruder. It's basically about this supermarket. Oh, yeah, I should let you know, too, if you do get this, do not watch the trailer first. It ruins everything. It ruins the killer. It ruins every single thing about the movie. Do not watch it. But I think the company cut it together or something. It was not. I think it was a trailer that was not the real trailer. It was cut together to promote this or something. But it's a movie about in this supermarket, and the supermarket is closing down, going out of business. It's being sold off to like I don't know who it's being sold off to somebody, and all the employees in there. It first starts off with this girl whose crazy boyfriend just got out of jail and starts stalking her. So then you think, oh, is it him that's the killer? And then you keep wondering who the killer is. People start getting killed off in this. There were some outstanding death scenes in this. Like the effects in this were really good. I think it was 1989. And it had one inspiring scene where this one guy's like, I just love this store so much. And he said it just that same way. But if you can find this movie, definitely get this. I got this at Comic-Con at the Charles Band booth, and they had this, and I got something free with it that I didn't bring over here. I still have to look at it. Another one I got that I haven't got to watch yet is a Sci-Fi Channel movie called Hydra. It looked interesting. I always get these things at Walmart. They're only like $8.99, $10 at the most. And I also got SpongeBob. I always get these ones because I always feel like it's like these are the last, like as I always say, the last remaining cartoons still anymore. Like classic Nickelodeon cartoons. It's now 10 years old. And this I got there. Everyone kept telling me to get this thing, and people kept mentioning this. It's like one of these things that I hear mentioned to me all the time. And it's The Room, and the director and one of the stars was there signing this. I haven't even got to look at it yet, but I've heard a lot of like people say it's like one of the worst things ever. And I don't know if anyone here that's watching this has seen this, but I just figured I might as well get it since the guy was there. And the next type is the Blu-ray I got from Miramax, and it's Bailey Bob Thornton and Sling Blade. Now the only thing that sucks about this Blu-ray is it doesn't have the 25-minute longer director's cut version of this movie, which was cool. There's a lot of cool things in this. But this movie, if you haven't seen Sling Blade, this is one of these things that I love to watch. And I also love to watch certain scenes from this, because Billy Bob Thornton's acting in this was amazing. And what sucks is he does all these sort of like throwaway movies, and then did this great movie. He needs to come back and do more things like this. It's basically about this guy who is calling. Sorry, some genuine butt was calling. I didn't even look. But basically, this movie, he was a kid that killed his parents with his sling blade and ended up got sent to the nut house for years. Then he's getting out of the nut house, he's released into the world. He doesn't have anyone to go back with. Then he meets this kid that likes the way he talks and everything. And then he ends up staying in their garage. And the stuff in this too that I love is John Ritter's character in this was amazing. And like I was saying, there's so many scenes in this that I just love to watch over again. It has amazing music. It's kind of hard to explain everything about it, but it's very good. The next one I got is Coraline, the Blu-ray, but it's got the 3D version too as well on it. Like I said, these 3D glasses, the red and blue ones, I can never watch those ones. They always sort of cross my eyes and give me all kinds of issues. And I didn't even get to see the 3D version of this in theater, so I don't know how good it was. I only got to see the regular one. I remember when I saw it, the theater was having like alarm issues, so like everyone had to sit in the theaters because like the alarms weren't working. It was a weird experience. But this is very good. It's basically Dakota Fanning plays Coraline in this. It's a stop animated movie by Henry Selick, who directed. A lot of people don't know this. He directed The Nightmare Before Christmas. They always say, oh no, Tim Burton did that. Tim Burton just produced it and drew some of the artwork for it. But it's her character that is sort of fed up with her family, and she ends up finding this other world through this door in her house, and there's like an alternate version of her mother who's real nice, and an alternate version of her father who's really positive. And it turns out that it's like basically like almost like a hell-like world, she finds out. This was very cool, very visual movie, and I really liked like this French style music in it. And the next one is the movie that I found out Lindsay Lohan turned down Hangover to do, and it's Labor Pains. And this was supposed to be a theatrical film. It was planned to be that. It was shot that way, and then something happened, and it ended up going directly to, I think, ABC Family or Fox, whatever they call that now. But this thing really wasn't that bad, though. It's her, Lindsay Lohan, that has to take care of her sister because both of her parents died, so she has to get her through, get money to get her through college. So she has this job at the at this book publishing company that publishes like war novels. And one day she says, the back talks to her boss, and ends up, he says she's fired, but she's like, oh no, you can't fire me, I'm pregnant. She makes it up, so she has to pretend like she's pregnant, wearing these fake stomachs and stuff. And she's supposed to only do it for a day or two. It ends up becoming, she doesn't know how to stop doing it, and she sort of thinks she is. I don't know, it wasn't that bad of a movie though. I thought it was alright. The next one I got from Fox, and I was originally from Fox Atomic, but then Fox Atomic bellied up, which is too bad. I liked what they did. I know their launching film was going to be Revenge of the Nerds, which I would love to see that footage they shot. They shot like 2 weeks of footage for the Revenge of the Nerds remake, then the whole thing got scrapped, which kind of sucks. I mean, it wouldn't have been that good, but I still wanted to see it. But Miss March, it's from the guys that do The Whitest Kids You Know. And I always remember, too, this guy was at Comic-Con a few years ago, and I didn't know who he was, and he was interviewing people. He was like, I'm with Fox Family or ABC Family. And he was saying all this dirty, funny stuff when he was asking me these questions. I was thinking, wow, ABC Family's changed their ways. And then I found out it was him from that show and from this. But this is a movie about this one kid who's on I think it's graduation night, ends up falling down the steps because he's at this party, and then he goes into a coma. And this was the same night he was going to end up sleeping with his girlfriend the first time. And he goes into a coma for like 5 years. Then his friend wakes him up and says, oh, your old girlfriend is at the Playboy Mansion or something. So they go on this road trip to try and find her and reunite and stuff. I don't know. I thought it was pretty funny. A lot of people didn't like this, but I would definitely check this thing out. I liked it. The next one I got from Paramount is I Love You Man, which was, I'm trying to remember how to explain this one. It was Paul Rudd's character was getting married, and he didn't have any male friends to be at the best men. He basically realized he had no friends really. So it's him basically auditioning male friends, and he ends up becoming friends with Jason Segel, who's kind of a screw-up guy who lives on the beach, and they end up becoming friends. And there's these funny scenes in this with Lou Ferrigno, because Paul Rudd's character is a home salesman. He's trying to sell Lou Ferrigno's house. He's having all these issues with it. I don't know. I really enjoyed this one. It's produced by. Did he do that? I don't even know if they worked on that. I guess they didn't. I was saying Judd Apatow did something on this. I don't know if he did anything on this one. I don't think he did. I think it was a different group. And the next Blu-ray I got is Obsessed. And this was alright. It's basically Idris Elba's character. He works at this like insurance firm, something like that. And the one person whose assistant is sick, and Al Lauder comes in to be the temp at the job. She becomes obsessed with him and starts stalking him and calling him all the time. And then she fakes being fake. All these weird things. It was okay. I think that if it could have been an R-rated film, it could have gone a little further and been a little bit more intense. It was being PG-13. It couldn't really go very far. The next one I got is Adam Sandler's The Waterboy, and I got this sent from Touchstone. This is the one Adam Sandler movie that I feel like a lot of people always forget about it. It wasn't the one that was seen too much. I don't know. It was never my all-time favorite one. Basically, it was Adam Sandler wants to play football, and he's like the water boy for this team, but he can't play football because his mother, played by Kathy Bates, doesn't want him to, and then he ends up secretly joining the football team, and he's a great player and all that. It was a pretty decent movie, though. The next one, I only got to watch an episode of it, and I got this from Fox, and it's Dollhouse Season 1, and basically, from what I figured out is, it's Eliza Dushku. I can never figure out how to say her name. Her character, and I always think of her from Wrong Turn and then Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. But her character did something bad at one point, and ends up being this person that they always erase her memory, and she always like takes on the personality of somebody else to catch a criminal or something. It seemed like an interesting idea. I'm going to watch more of them. It's not too easy to explain, but it's like I think I'd have to watch all of them to really figure this out. The next one I still have to watch is Dragon Ball Z Evolution, which I got from Fox. And this one I thought this was decent, and it's from Disney, Escape to Witch Mountain. And it looks very good, but it's a remake of the original film, and the original film was a far better movie. This one, it's basically these two alien kids that are on the run, that are trying to be tracked down by the FBI or the government or something, and Dwayne the Rockhart Johnson's character is this cab driver who's driving around trying to escape and help them. It was okay. I mean, not the greatest. I prefer the original movie, but it was worth checking it out. Not a lot to say. Next one I got from Paramount, and is The Soloist, which I didn't get to see in theaters, and I watched this, and this wasn't that bad. It makes you feel really depressed though about like the homeless problem in Los Angeles. Like they show the Skid Row and all these areas. We're like, oh, wow, it's bad. And like a lot of it, like the real homeless in it. It makes you like happy for what you have when you see it. I mean, it was bad. I mean, I don't think they've really shown that really in any other movies. But it's Robert Downey Jr. is this writer for the paper, and he's trying to find a good story. So he ends up meeting Jamie Foxx's character, who plays the violin on the street with two strings, and he finds out that he was in like Juilliard for music, and he's amazing at music, and it's him trying to help him get his life together, get him a place to stay, and it gets very depressing and it's very. I think it was alright, but it's a real downer. So I mean, if you're not up for a downer film, don't watch this. Anyway, though, thanks a lot for watching and for subscribing, and I'll see you all in probably about 2.5 weeks or so. Okay, bye.